Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Friday, January the 27th, 2023. Today we are pulling from the Dark Wood Tarot cards. So you should have felt a power shift or energy shift 25th, 26th, and 27th. So we have Sun in Aquarius and Moon in Aries. I always thrive in fire. And we're getting a lot of red energy, and I feel like that's like the theme of the year is to believe in ourselves, embrace our fire, bravery, courage, strength, resilience. Even when we don't know how things are going to turn out, it's just trusting the universe. Trusting, that there is a method to their madness. You know what I mean? It is pushing you forward, even though we're resilient. And remember what they said. It's like move forward now before they force it upon you. Like they want you to move forward. They want this to happen. So it's just like quit resisting it and let's go. Let's get with the flow. Let's start following what they want and start moving forward because this is necessary. So we got some extra cards here. I should have put them back in order, but nevertheless. We have Two of Cups, so this could be reminiscent of Throne Thursday when they were showing Jon Snow as the King of Cups. So it could be a partnership in that way. I definitely feel love. I feel like a connection, could be like a child parent kind of connection where it's just like you guys know each other. They know your heartbeat, that you guys just put your head on each other. It's like you know each other. They're never discount the sensation of touch. And it's not in a sexual way. It's just like simply holding someone's hand in support, hugging them, leaning on them. It's just like, you know what I mean? That connection is there. It's like they want to be connected in the energy. It's like two magnets clicking together. It's like you guys just, when you click, it works. So we have Judgment. And I feel like don't let your shadow side take over. Don't let your shadow side rule over, we have this red with root chakra. We have with Mercury, the planet of communication. So the way you speak to yourself. And I feel like it's like you're a confident person, but you always doubt. I'm the same way. It's like I made this mistake when I was going through, my shock and the initial, feelings and widow fog of, starting that journey. And it's just like, making a huge mistake. And it's just like, seeing how it affected my kids. And I'm like, what the hell did I just do? You know what I mean? It's just like, obviously we checked everything. We pulled all the doors open and all the cupboards and checked the water and everything like that. It's just, I should have obviously taken my time a little bit more. This time I took him listen to me speak English. But it's just like, this time around, it's like, yeah, turning on the hot water. How long does it take to warm up? Sitting there and asking certain questions, making sure if we can't see something. Well, my son's tall now, so that also helps. The fact that they're older, they're not so young and not helpless. They were always very mature for their age. They're always helping me. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's easier for them now. It's just like, to help. You know what I mean? It's just like, they're more vocal, they're more physical. So it's just like, in that way. It's sad to see them grow up, but it's like kind of a relief in the same time because, when Shane passed away, they were very young and it's like dragging them everywhere for boxes and stuff. I felt horrible, but it was just like something that had to happen. We have the Moon card come in here, so I definitely feel balance, levitation, leveling up. I definitely miss the Moon. It's just like, I was working and I was looking on my security camera because it went off. And I don't know if it was either a digital glitch or if it was actually the moon in the sky. So I'm just like, I missed it. But, hopefully I could see it tonight because we're heading for a storm tomorrow. But it's just like levitation and I feel like, leveling up. And I definitely feel like that freedom that we're getting here. I like the power shift, into this fire energy. So Nine of Cups, definitely knocking on Judgment there, this rebirth. And it's like, everything is lining up. Hold on. Everything is lining up. So it's like, let the wheel move. We got the Wheel of Fortune here. It's like, let the wheel move. Stop standing in the way. So the Two of Swords, it's like, don't allow the shadows to encompass us. Queen of Cups, it's like your cup is filling. It's filling up. It's like you're able to give to others. You know what I mean? Like my prayer, and it's on my vision board, is like for that to come in. And it's just like, it's obviously I would rather buy, but you know what I mean? When that time comes, it will come. But it's just like, hopefully by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of Yeshua, that we're able to sit there and get like, the first place we moved to, but in town. Or that house was aesthetically beautiful. The location was great. It's just like, something like that we can afford. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I always believe the universe has our back. And they were saying that. We got your back. Don't worry. They're like massaging my shoulders. Don't stress. Don't start stressing. Let's one thing at a time. It's like something is restricting us here, and it's ourselves sometimes. It's our fear, worry, and doubt. And it's just like, because we were told from a young age, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, I use myself as an example where it's like, I've been on my own since I was 22. Thank God I've never had, by Yeshua, I've never had to move back home. I shared a home with my mom again, but it's like, she had her apartment, I had mine, and it's like we split on the expenses. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and it wasn't, obviously from Shane passing, it's just, you want to be around your family at that time. Ground yourself. But, nevertheless, it's like, let that wheel turn. It wants to move. It's going to run over your feet if you don't let it. You can't stop this. They want to move you forward. And remember what they said. Either you do this on your own will or it's going to happen. And you don't want it to happen where, the universe is like, okay, too late, B, run you over. Too late, bitch, we'll run you over. It wants to move. And it's like, because we're bringing in the sun. That's what you have to remember. You know what I mean? It's like something is leaving your life. It's the infinity symbol. Something is leaving your life in to bring in more sunshine. We're replacing it with something, which is great. We're replacing with something like, like me, they're saying my independence. And it's like, I have been, take charge and, thank God I was, lived with someone that taught me, like, this is your money that you have for a month. It's like, this is what you're responsible for. And it's like, this is whatever is left over is your mad money. And it really taught me to like live on budget. It's just like, you want to have your, like your like I need my shampoo, my conditioner, my lady products, soap, toothpaste, face wash, razors, I guess, makeup. I think that was pretty much my, my mad money or my budget at 16. And it's like whatever was left over was like, smokes. I shouldn't have never smoked. I would have saved so much money. But it's like cigarettes were like $5. I'm dating myself. Cigarettes were $5 then. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like sitting there and, realizing that's what I have money for. If I spend it all, that was my problem. I'm teaching my kids the same thing where they're on the younger side, right? But it's just like they wanted the Fortnite, monthly subscription. And it's like, well, you pay $5, the other one pays $5, and I'll pay $10. We all contribute to it, and we got it. It's like, if you want that, then we'll all have to and they understand that. Sometimes they're lucky, not lucky. Sometimes they'll sit there and, overspend on not all the time, but I hold them accountable. It's like, you overspent last month. Now you owe me this much. This is all you have for this much to budget. And they realize that. It's like, sorry, you got to sit there and pay the piper now. It's just like if you have an overdraft or something like that with no fees, obviously. But it's just like teaching them responsibility, holding them accountable. It's just, we weren't taught enough of that as young individuals, Now we're older, we're teaching ourselves that the hard way, But it's like teaching ourselves the proper way, how to like, balance budgets and, still have money for mad money and, taking that pride in working. So, Two of Swords, manifestation and retreat. The ideas and thoughts, taking time to discover how you feel, think, and respond to external circumstances. So that's exactly it. It's like, here it comes in the shadows, and it's like, oh, this isn't going to happen. Oh, you're wasting your time. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's just like, even people. It's not necessarily in our thoughts. It's people that are around us. And it's like, that's where I feel like Death card came in. It's like, time for change and transformation. It's time to purge this situation. It's time to move from this because it doesn't serve you anymore. You're strong enough to do this now. You're strong enough to have this come into your life. You've healed. You see yourself. Will we feel like that every day? Hell no. I told you guys, I was struggling last week, had a fever, had these crazy thoughts. I'm just like, can I flip and sleep? And I'm like, yesterday, I'm like, like during, like, not last night, like while I was sleeping, I'm turning, and I'm like, thank God for sleep. I'm like, oh my gosh, you covet sleep. The last time, like, I was like that, it was like when Shane passed. I was only sleeping like 4 hours a night, and it's just like, you cannot, articulate your thoughts and your feelings, and it's just like, what is reality, what isn't. It's just like, you need your sleep. We go to the Queen of Cups, the empath, and they're really highlighting it. It's like, every time your cup is overflowing, your cup runneth over, you are giving what runneth over to everyone around you. That's why you continuously get blessed, because you are a nurturer, you're an empath, you understand situations, you probably went through it yourself. But we got to learn that, yes, we went through those situations, yes, we're empathetic, but we're not stupid. We're not a fool. We've lived this situation, we went through the arcana, we know now who we are, we know our value, and my friend literally posted this. Like, someone was sitting there and he has his own business, and they're like, they expected, because they're friends, that, it's like, yeah, I'll help you out. We're good, but this is a business transaction. This is not a friend's transaction. This is a business transaction. So they didn't want to pay him his worth. They didn't want to pay him his fee. Oh, but we're friends. Yeah, and this is a business. Just like if I came to your job and I was like, hey, if say like you sold like shoes, you worked at Foot Locker. Hey, I'm your friend. Oh, those kicks are cool. And I walked out the door. Your boss would look at you sideways and be like, you are paying for those sneakers. Like, what the hell? Like, your friend's not welcome here no more. They can't just come in here, pick out a pair of sneakers and walk out the door. Just like his fee. He worked hard. He did the research. He put everything in place. This is his fee. If you did not expect to pay that fee, then maybe you should have discussed that before you assume something. You know what I mean? A lot of healers are looked sideways like that. Oh, why are you asking a fee? It's a God-given ability. Yes, it is. And we're all born with it. So, it's like, I'm performing a service. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if you don't agree with it, then I'm sorry. Then you can take your business elsewhere. You know what I mean? So, you got to know your value. So active imagination, empathetic qualities, dreamy, and love-filled. Soft and nurturing, an encouraging and understanding personality, excellent advice. The mother who understands everyone's problems, never takes sides, deep understanding. It's just like, you were probably the mother of your group. You were the nurturer of your group. People came to you for wisdom. They knew that you would nurture them. They knew you would take care of them. They knew that you would sit there and listen to their thoughts and their feelings and what they were going through, and you would give them sage advice, from your experience, and that's the best advice ever. So we're going to go to the hang person. So a deeper look at the deeper you look, the more it is revealed. So this is like a meditation, quieting the mind, quieting our mouth, and just listening. A moment of pause. Stillness. A sacrifice is made for a greater good of all involved. So with my case, it's like, my rest, my rejuvenation, my but it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm already busy, but it's just like, now it's like, there's a method to the madness, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'll have to, like, obviously as we get closer, pause reasonings and stuff like that. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's a small sacrifice for a bigger gain, and it will benefit everyone. The world seen through a new set of eyes. Revelations beheld. Keep looking. Excitement afoot. Deep mystical tendencies. Contemplation. Seeing the situation at hand for the entirely new point of view. Cultivating deep in the present moment. And it's just like, like they said, the sacrifice, that is going to be made here is going to benefit everyone. That's why this is happening. It's like the sacrifice needs to happen. Like I said, like, they're telling us, like, let's get going. Let's do this now. Chop, chop, before we sit there and put it on you. And you're not going to like it. Like they're saying, from distress. So the symphony of life is a perpetual wheel of motion. Life's ups and downs, the rhythm and flow of existence, expansion and movement. The wheel of fortune turns in your favor. The ability to ride with challenges and blessings. And that's the biggest thing here. And I feel like that's why the strength card is there. It's just like, like they're massaging my shoulders and they're just like, we're here, and it's like, calling upon our spirit guides. Like they're there, it's like, helping you, giving me the strength to do things like, after working 8.5 hours at one thing, working doing dailies, like I diddly daddly, like I know like I literally got up at 9 and it was just like I got some stuff done, came back, and I was like, how the heck is it already 11? You know what I mean? I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm like watching TV, I'm on my phone. It's like it could get done quicker because I did it like the other day, and I'm like, why is it every other day it takes me hours to do this? Because it's because of me. Like I need to be more focused. But anyway, it's like it is what it is. So the wheel turns in your favor. The ability to ride with challenges and blessings, accepting help from the unseen. So the unseen. Some of us do have the ability to see, and it's everybody has the ability. It's just like do you accept it or not? Do you sit there and it's just like, okay, you know what? I feel the presence, even Sunny. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's why, it's not as potent sometimes because he goes crazy. He's like, get the hell out of here. He'll just be sitting there and it's like, we're all sleeping and all of a sudden he's barking. And I'm like, whoever it is, can you piss off so the dog can shut the F up? you know? Healthy vitality flourishes. Health and vitality flourishes. And this is what they were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's, when these changes coming in, it's going to benefit you. That's why it's like the infinity symbol. What is leaving you? Yeah, it doesn't have a purpose anymore. That's why it's being left behind. Now we're bringing in this. And you have no idea what's going to happen. But remember, they were showing 9 of Cups. Everything's going to line up, right? This is where this rebirth happens. It's like we don't know what's happening, and that's where the hesitance is. But this is what's holding us back. This is what's restricting us with the hangwoman. That's what, and look at her red dress. It's the way we communicate with ourselves. Even though it sucks that we have to do this change and transformation, it's like, okay, but it's the betterment of everyone. It's not just myself, it's everyone. You know what I mean? I'm making the sacrifice for everyone, not just for myself, everyone. It will benefit everyone. So we got to just keep telling ourselves, it's going to be beneficial. It's going to be beneficial. It sucks, but it'll be beneficial. This bloody cough. Expansion, renewal, growth, brilliance and beauty, pregnancy, so rebirth, the unfolding of the heart's desire, pleasure, productivity, recognition for achievements. You can pat yourself on the back and be like, I freaking did it. We did it. The universe had my back. Never forget, when you sit there and you manifest for things, especially when we did our vision boards, it's like, don't forget, like, that's why I was sitting there and I'm like, check mark Dianu, these are the things I asked for, and now they're here. We've been asking for Sunny for years. It's literally his birthday tomorrow. Like, we film ahead of time. You guys know that. So Thursday's his birthday. And it's like, we're all like apprehensive. And I feel like that's just the trauma of the situation, but it's like learning to relax. It's just like, it's just like, we love him so much. We're so worried something's going to happen to him because, the fact that, we had to rehome, like, cause we had family members that were definitely afraid of the cats. And at one point I wasn't going to end up staying with my sister. Even with medication, when she came, thank God that she came and my mom came. When Shane passed away, it was just like, she was sneezing like a storm. And she's like, these freaking cats. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I gave her medication, but it's just like, she just kept on, her son, her ex-husband soon. It's just like, they're all deathly afraid. And I'm just like, or allergic, excuse me. Had I sat there and talked to myself and said, you know what, you can handle this. You're not going to have a nervous breakdown. That was my biggest fear. It's like, yeah, I'm basically like, my nerves are shot. Like, I'm shaking like a leaf, but it's just like, I was afraid I was going to have a breakdown once I got here. I'm like a ticking time bomb. This is about to all freaking come ahead. And I'm just going to be like, I'm going to really need, my loved ones by my side. Thank God it never happened. You know what I mean? By the grace of Yeshua, I will always give grace for that. But it's just like, I could have got, we were looking at houses in Miramichi and it's like, we could have been there the whole time. If I just would have believed in myself, You know what I mean? But it's just, I was just so afraid. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen, And there's an example of like where they want you to move forward. And it's just like, it took that to make me move to New Brunswick. You know what I mean? Like we talked about it, but Shane was like, let's wait, let's wait, let's wait. And then it happened. So like in that lesson itself, just speaking about it with you guys, sometimes I come to revelation speaking with you guys, because it's just like in that situation, it's just a fact. You know what I mean? Like I'm never like, yeah, with my dad, but it's like, I know if my dad was still here, he would have been by my side the whole time. He wouldn't have left my side, so he would have just stayed with us until the whole thing was done. And he would have been that sound advice, and he still is, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what they were telling me today. They're like, don't worry, we got you. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get this. We'll sit there, purge these things. And I've been purging. It's like, I sat there and it's like, nope, don't want that, don't want that. We've been donating it, even before Christmas happened. It's just like, I had this like purge, feeling. And I'm like, all right, start purging, So it's like, it's time, But it's just, this time it's a different situation. Thank God, by the grace of God, it's not like that. And this is where I feel like they're saying, move before it's a tower moment. Move before we make it a tower moment. It's like, yeah, I hear you loud and clear, Roger that. So, universal power lies within you. Exactly. And it's just, that's why they're telling us to quiet our mind. This is why they're telling us to shut up and meditate. Let them guide us. Let them sit there and bring in the messages that we need. I don't know why I marked the 9 of Cups, but... So, gentle control, inner wells of power, stable body, sound mind, fortitude, and unwavering sense of self. And that's the thing. We have to have an unwavering sense of self. Don't allow people to manipulate you. Don't allow people's insecurities manipulate you. That's exactly what it is. I never wanted to say that. I'm like, no. That is such a shady, nasty thing to say, that person is insecure. That's why they're saying these things. You know what? It's the truth. They will sit there and try to manipulate you out of their insecurity, or because they don't like the fact that you're X, Y, and Z, or you're flourishing, or whatever it is. And they will say little tidbits. They will plant little seeds, and hopefully they're hoping, this is the shadow card right here. It's like, that's why they're showing the death card. They're like, you need to purge these people. Like, why are you letting toxic people around you? Sometimes we can't help that we're born into these idiots, but it's like, you got to sit there and be like, okay, you know what, boundaries. You know what, this is my home. You're going to treat it with respect. This is, you're not going to talk to me like that. It's like, oh, hell no. Don't put your insecurities on me. If you're afraid the world's going to see you that way, that's your problem. Knowing when to apply pressure and when to release it. Character and resilience, effortless action, recognizing one's power, your energetic birthright, stoking your inner fire and transforming your reality. Stoking our inner fire. Even, and I feel like that's what the universe does. It's like, I encourage myself, got a little bit longer and it's done. Got a little, it's almost, whatever the situation is. That's why I love doing dailies, especially like when there's scenarios, like we went through training for 2 more phones. And I'm just like, they're like, you're going to finish this successfully. And I'm like, okay, thank God. I'm the worst when it comes to technology. Like, Shane was very patient, and he had that tone where it's just like, he didn't make you feel like stupid. And a lot of people talk to you like you're stupid. Like, we went for training for our VPN, and the guy was talking to us like we're stupid. He's like, never mind that. We'll do that later. We're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And it's just like, he told us to watch what he was doing, and that's exactly what we did. He's like, who's done? And it's like, done what? It's like, you told us to watch you. He's like, okay, I'll do it again. And I'm like, okay, like, can you please say what you mean? Like, do you want us to watch you, or do you want us to sit there and do it at the same time you're doing it? You know what I mean? It's just like condescending. And it's just like, that's why I'm grateful for the person that trained us, because like, he's like Shane, where it's like got that, he loves to laugh. He loves to have a good time, but he knows he's there for a reason. We're here to get this done. So that way, when you're out of here, are you going to be perfect? Hell no. But the goal is in a couple months. What is it? I think it's a month now. And it's like, you guys will, be a hell of a lot better than you were when you first came in here. He's like, you guys are trained, so it's not a big deal. It felt like a huge deal. Sometimes it still does, but it's just like, at least we had our bearings. A lot of us were there for a while, and it's just like, okay, okay, it's like, like any other day, but it's a different system, but we got used to it. So it's just like, anything in life. And that's where you got to encourage yourself. And that's why I love tarot cards. That's why it's just like, I couldn't do the new moon, and I'm so sorry. It's just, I got a really bad cold. I'm still recovering from it. So it's just, I apologize, guys. But, you know, it's just, when you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't feel like work, honestly. But you got to stoke your inner fire. Just like right now, like this guy right now is like Beethoven energy. You know what I mean? Like, he was his biggest critic. He rode himself so hard into an early grave. Don't ride yourself that hard. But it's just like, when they want to bring these things in, it's like, let's shut up and listen. Let's breathe, let's, get that confidence in, and let's go. Like, the universe wants this to happen. Let's start getting it going. Let's start listening to them. Let's start getting this ball rolling. Let's, follow. Where are they taking us? What's our new path? And like it's the infinity symbol, like they're showing. This situation no longer serves you. It was a blessing while it was in our life. May it be a blessing to the next person that, moves here, and their family, and let it bring a million times more comfort and security to them, and peace, than it was for us. And, it's time to move to the next chapter, So it's like they're showing we're coming out of the chrysalis. We're ready to fly. We're getting ready to fly. We're letting our wings, dry out in the sun. We're making a plan, and now we're getting ready to fly. And it's not going to feel like that every day. Trust me, I did not feel like this last week, but I was so hyped yesterday, and it's just like, okay, let's get into this energy. Let's get going. Let's move in a positive way. Let's go where the universe is taking us. Let's not be resistant. Like I said, this is going to benefit not only yourself, but others. They're going to flourish. And that's the biggest thing. Do we want to stay in the way of other people flourishing? Heck no. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for January 27th, 2023. During the year, keep coming back to this week. It's very potent what the rest of the year is going to look like. I feel like the biggest thing is that we're getting a lot of blessings in here because the sun came out a lot. They're highlighting you as a nurturer with the Queen of Cups. And it's like your cup is running over and you're about to bless others because of it. Believe in yourself. Stoke your inner fire. And all these things are coming in for a reason. It's time to move forward. It's time for you to sit there and get everything you deserve. Everything you've manifested. Everything you want in life. 4 or 5 years. I feel like right now is setting us up for the next 4 or 5 years. It's time to move forward. What this journey was of healing and recovery and being reborn and discovering who we are and loving ourselves for every little nook and cranny, and the things that we don't love, it's like, hey, you know what? You live and you learn. If you could go back, you would definitely do it a different way. But, got to do what you got to do. So may the universe bless you good. Have a safe and happy weekend. We'll see you for the next Daily Tarot card.